Get ready for the most epic underwater gathering, the Octopus Garden. Located 2 miles beneath the ocean's surface off central California's coast, thousands of these intelligent cephalopods have formed an incredible community, leaving scientists stunned since its discovery in 2018. As researchers dove deeper to unravel this phenomenon, they found something truly bizarre: octopuses hanging upside down, their 8 arms twisted and wrapped around their bodies like a mesmerizing, deep-sea yoga session. Don't forget to hit that like button if you're as fascinated as we are. Let's dive into the secrets of this mysterious octopus garden. In a jaw-dropping scene straight out of an alien movie, the Octopus Garden is where thousands of the mussel octopus robustus species converge for one purpose only: to keep their lineage alive. Over 700 octopuses have been spotted in this 6-acre hotspot, with estimates suggesting as many as 20,000 could be living within its 20-acre boundaries. Here's the amazing part: these deep-sea dwellers don't stay here forever. They're only in town for one thing: to find the perfect spot for their babies. Female octopuses are on a mission to lay around 60 super long eggs, carefully choosing a warm and cozy location within the garden to do so. Once she's all settled in, Mama Octopus keeps her precious eggs safe by shielding them with her own body. It's like nature's own security blanket against predators. Deep sea dwellers don't exactly hang out in groups like we do on a beach party, but thousands of octopuses have been spotted gathering at something called an octopus garden or nursery, and California's discovery is the largest ever found by scientists. These nurseries are essentially breeding grounds where female octopuses lay their precious eggs. But here's why this finding stunned experts. Usually, these intelligent creatures prefer to live alone in cool waters, so seeing such a massive aggregation was like spotting a school of sharks hanging out at a kiddie pool party. It just doesn't add up. The California discovery is even more remarkable, as the Octopus Garden found there isn't near any known denning sites or food sources, leaving scientists wondering what attracts these solitary creatures to this specific location. The California Octopus Garden was a mystery until scientists dove deeper, quite literally. The eggs were found sitting on a hydrothermal vent, an underwater geyser that spews out heated water. It's not rocket science. Warmth speeds up development while cold slows it down. In chilly waters, octopus eggs would take about 5 to 8 years to hatch, or even longer. But guess what? These little critters were hatching in under 2 years. The heat from the thermal vent wasn't just a bonus for the mama octopuses, it also turbocharged their babies' growth. It's like how you grow faster when you get more exercise. Warmth accelerated their metabolism, resulting in an earlier hatch time that stunned researchers who are still trying to unravel this underwater enigma. Let's dive into the harsh reality of being an underwater embryo. It's a high-risk game. 5 to 8 years might sound like forever, but in reality, it's an eternity for tiny eggs floating at the mercy of deep-sea currents and predators lurking around every corner. The California Octopus Garden is actually more of a crowded neighborhood than a peaceful nursery, filled with various invertebrates just waiting to make a meal out of unsuspecting hatchlings or unhatched eggs. With food being scarce down there, competition is cutthroat. And let's not forget the physical dangers: injuries and infections are always lurking, ready to strike when you least expect it. The mother octopus knows her own limitations. As she exhausts her resources, time becomes a critical factor in getting those precious babies out into the world. It turns out that scientists didn't need scuba gear or a submersible to crack this mystery. They simply observed an incredible phenomenon: California Octopus Garden's offspring hatching in an astonishing 2 years, which is 5 times faster than what's naturally expected for deep-sea octopuses and way shorter than the human pregnancy period of 9 months. This remarkable discovery might inspire us to think about ways we can speed up biological processes on our own. As for how scientists were able to study this underwater phenomenon, they relied on some clever observation techniques. Let's just say it wasn't a deep-sea dive expedition with a Steve Irwin type, but rather a long-term camera set up in the heart of California Octopus Garden, where all the action unfolded. We've got some fascinating tech at play here. Scientists used a camera at the bottom, capturing photos of our cephalopod friends and identifying each unique octopus by their battle scars and personal quirks, much like a fingerprint for humans. As they analyzed these underwater images, they made an interesting discovery: California Octopus Garden was filled with adults but eerily lacked any younglings. That all changed when the babies hatched, painting a clear picture of the life cycle down there. So, what could be causing these speedy octopuses to grow at warp speed? Researchers narrowed it down to one key factor: temperature. The garden's location, 2 miles beneath the ocean's surface near an underwater volcano called Davidson Mountain, turned out to be the magic bullet. But here's the kicker: even though this place is deep under the sea, the surrounding water stays a chilly 35 degrees Fahrenheit, which you'd expect to slow down any growth. Deep beneath our oceans lies a hidden world where scorching hot water and minerals burst forth from the earth. Meet hydrothermal vents. These underwater chimneys serve as an unlikely home to a unique ecosystem thriving miles below the ocean's surface. Their magic begins with tectonic plates that move, creating cracks in Earth's crust. When seawater seeps through these fractures, it encounters high pressure, superheated steam, and minerals from the Earth. This mix of water and minerals gets heated up before it shoots back out into the ocean as a hydrothermal vent, an underwater geyser. The warm waters spew forth, bringing with them crucial nutrients that kickstart a unique food chain, supporting life in places where none should exist, making them a truly alien world. Beneath our ocean's surface, an untold secret unfolds as water seeps into volcanic rocks, akin to those found at Davidson Volcano. This hidden world differs from hydrothermal vents, which burst forth on ocean ridges in scorching streams that can't be missed. Instead, these thermal springs are elusive, their warm waters barely rising a few feet before disappearing, only detectable by the faint shimmer they cast. It's here that the octopuses of our garden found fortune with temperatures perfect for them. However, beneath lies a very different tale. Hydrothermal vents spew out incredibly hot water. If an octopus laid her eggs in such heat, they'd cook quickly, no more than a hard-boiled egg in time. On the other hand, cold waters act as a break to all octopuses regardless of age. Octopuses are ectotherms or cold-blooded creatures, meaning they rely on external sources to regulate their body temperature. This makes them highly sensitive to ocean temperatures, which directly impacts their metabolism. In simple terms, it's the speed at which their cells convert food into energy for growth, development, and reproduction. You see, when it gets colder, metabolic rates drop and less energy is produced. But what happens if we heat things up? The warmth from thermal vents provides them with an abundance of energy, allowing them to use this excess power to nurture their eggs. This extra boost even accelerates the hatching process, getting baby octopuses out faster than you can say octopus parade. Now, let's dive into the fascinating world of octopus reproduction. You can't just crank up the temperature to turbocharge these cephalopods into overnight adults. Research on the Maya species shows that when water temperatures hit a sizzling 80 degrees Fahrenheit, female octopuses throw in the towel and stop egg laying altogether. If they've already started, those eggs are toast within days. As with most other cephalopods, after mating, these garden dwellers meet their maker. Males kick the bucket right away while females pass on after helping their offspring hatch. What's left is a buffet of sorts for scavengers, ensuring they'll always have a feast regardless of the circumstances. It's not like some octopus mamas get lucky and survive to breed again. Each cycle is a one-way trip for them. Let's uncover one of the ocean's most mysterious secrets, female octopuses self-destructing after reproduction. For 2 years straight, these devoted mothers abstain from hunting and solely rely on stored energy reserves built before entering motherhood mode. It's a waiting game for invertebrates like this sea anemone that we captured feasting on a dead octopus. Scientists are utterly captivated by the universal practice among female octopuses to sacrifice their lives after laying eggs, regardless of species or habitat. While many animals meet their end after reproducing, there's something particularly chilling about how these mothers not only stop eating, but also seek out ways to end their own life journey. Let's dive into the mind-blowing ways female octopuses sacrifice themselves after reproduction. It's not just a random act, but a carefully planned strategy that involves some seriously intense self-harm. You'll see them deliberately smashing against rocks, ripping apart their own skin, and even eating parts of their own arms, as if they've completely lost their grip on sanity. But here's the kicker. Scientists have found special chemicals that control this behavior and trigger these drastic changes in an octopus body after it lays its eggs. It's like a hormonal switch flips, setting off a chain reaction that seals the mother's fate. But before we dive any deeper into the science behind it, let's return to our time-lapse footage of an octopus garden. Check out how these dedicated mothers use their deceased bodies as shields to protect their precious eggs from scavengers sneaking in for a snack. In these underwater gardens, we're witnessing a dynamic of life and death on a whole different level. Imagine if you were to suddenly become the main course in your neighborhood, with big shots like giant grenadiers and cusky eels showing up for their own personal feasts. It's not just these heavy hitters, smaller scavengers like shrimp, snails, and sea stars are also part of this party, all fueled by a buffet that's 72% more epic than anywhere else in the ocean. As we watch these thriving ecosystems spring into action around the mother octopus remains, remember that while her legacy lives on through her hatchlings, she herself becomes just another ingredient in this cycle of life and death. These female octopuses aren't just picking random spots for their nests. They're meticulously choosing crevices with the perfect balance of warmth and shelter, But there's a limit to how many of these cozy spots are available in these rocky underwater areas, making every one precious real estate. The circle of life is relentless, with a sole mission to keep the cycle going. Offspring come first, everything else follows. Octopuses aren't known for sentimental concerns about their surroundings or the previous inhabitants. Death just means fresh nutrients and new opportunities for growth. But did you know that these highly intelligent creatures have been defying our initial perceptions? For years, scientists thought that octopus nurseries were a rare sight, almost an exception in nature's grand scheme. However, with more discoveries surfacing, we're now looking at 5 identified deep-sea octopus gardens. 2 off Central California, 2 off Costa Rica's coast, and 1 near Vancouver Island in Canada. The first of these underwater oases was found in 2013 off Costa Rica's shores. Dive into the heart of an underwater volcano, literally. Imagine a colossal hydrothermal spring spouting out millions of gallons of superheated water, rich in minerals and gases like methane, at depths where most life seems impossible. This is the epicenter of our recent discovery near Vancouver Island in Canada, the latest octopus nursery to capture the scientific community's attention. It's located about 40 miles off the coast, a staggering dive down into the abyssal darkness at almost 6,000 feet. As methane bubbles burst through the ocean floor, they create an otherworldly landscape, just what these intelligent creatures call home for their little ones. The eerie landscapes of our underwater volcano are more than just an alien world. They're also nurseries for some of the ocean's most intelligent dwellers, the Granolodon pacifica octopus. This species takes the cake with the longest incubation period ever recorded, a whopping 4.5 years spent by the mother safeguarding her precious eggs near the volcano's warmth. The unique chemistry created by methane bubbles and carbonates eventually forms hard rock, providing shelter for these 8-armed wonders to raise their young. But here's where it gets even more captivating. Scientists are still in awe of how octopuses pinpoint these secluded nurseries. Do they stumble upon them by accident or navigate back to the exact location after remembering? One thing is clear: this deep-sea enigma has got everyone hooked on uncovering its migration secrets and whether it returns to its birthplace. Just like salmon, deep-sea hotspots like Davidson Seamount are more than just breathtakingly alien landscapes. They're also crucial havens for rare creatures like the Granolodon pacifica octopus. But these underwater oases aren't invincible. Climate change, destructive fishing practices, and deep-sea mining all pose serious threats to their survival. That's why it's fantastic news that this unique ecosystem is now protected as part of the Monterey Bay National Marine Sanctuary. Within its boundaries, activities like oil drilling, digging, construction, or even anchoring ships are strictly off limits. If a vessel were to accidentally run aground, it can't be abandoned. Instead, efforts must be made to refloat or salvage it, with any left-behind substances being safely removed. By safeguarding these remote habitats from human impact, we're not only preserving the enigmatic octopus's secrets, but also ensuring the long-term survival of this incredible underwater world and all its inhabitants. The Davidson Seamount Sanctuary doesn't play by any exceptions. Interacting with local species is strictly forbidden, as well as introducing non-native ones or even attracting great white sharks. You're also not allowed to use motorboats or fly too low over the water. That's just scratching the surface, though. It's actually best to avoid this area altogether to prevent breaking any rules accidentally, since they take enforcement very seriously. Their monitoring system is all-encompassing, with rangers patrolling by land, air, and sea using everything from small boats to big patrol ships. Violations usually happen in a small area over a short period, but some types of violations occur frequently throughout the reserve, such as hunting marine mammals or birds. Punishments, unfortunately, don't always deter people. Breaking the rules here can lead to hefty civil penalties up to $40,000 per day, and you might even have to foot the bill for cleaning up your mess and restoring the natural surroundings. Let's get down to business. Breaking rules in a wildlife reserve is serious stuff. Think heavy fines reaching up to $40,000 per day, and sometimes even more. Plus, the gear used for the violation, such as boats or tools, might be seized until court proceedings are done. Remember how we mentioned this place has its own set of laws? Well, breaking them here often means you're also violating federal and state laws. That's a whole different can of worms. It could mean losing property, facing arrest, or even getting hit with criminal charges. And let's not forget, interfering with law enforcement in the reserve is considered a crime too. So, remember to respect these places and their rules for a safe and enjoyable trip. Don't forget to share this video with your friends if you found it informative. They might just learn something new. Later, stay awesome and keep learning.